Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Nama Sri Krishna Hari Bo Gopala Hari Bo Radharamana Govinda Hari Bo Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radharamana Govinda Hari Bol Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. So welcome you all to the Bhakti Shastri class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Shall we start?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, who is going to read first?
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Chapter 4 Devotional Service Surpasses All Liberation. How much a devotee is seriously attached to the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can be understood from the statement of Maharaja Prithu, Adi Raja, which is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 20th chapter, verse 24. He prays to the Supreme Personality of Godhead thus: My dear Lord, if after taking liberation I have no chance of hearing the glories of your Lordship, glories chanted by pure devotees from the core of their hearts in praise of your lotus feet, and if I have no chance for this honey of transcendental bliss, then I shall never ask for liberation or this so called spiritual emancipation. I shall simply always pray unto your Lordship that you may give me millions of tongues and millions of ears so that I can constantly chant and hear of your transcendental glories. The impersonalists desire to merge into the existence of the Supreme, but without keeping their individuality, they have no chance of hearing and chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord. Because they have no idea of the transcendental form of the Supreme Lord, there is no chance of their chanting and hearing of his transcendental activities. In other words, unless one is already beyond liberation, one cannot relish the transcendental glories of the Lord, nor can one understand the transcendental form of the Lord. A similar statement is found in Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 14th chapter, verse 44. Shukadeva Goswami addresses Parikshit Maharaj there and says, the great soul King Bharata was so much attached to the service of the lotus feet of Krishna that he very easily gave up his lordship over the earthly planet and his affection for his children, society, friends, royal opulence, and beautiful wife. He was so very lucky that the goddess of fortune was pleased to offer him all kinds of material concessions, but he never accepted any of these material opulences. Shukadeva Goswami praises this behavior of King Bharata very highly. He says, any person whose heart is attracted by the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Madhusudana, does not care even for that liberation, which is aspired to by many great sages. What to speak of material opulences? In the
So,
Bhagavad
for a devotee, liberation is not important. Serving the Lord is most important, right?
Yes, Mother.
yes, reciprocation and serving the
Yeah.
Lord is most important.
Yes, Mataji, you can read.
In the Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 11th chapter, verse 25, there is a similar statement by Vritrasura who addresses the Lord as follows. My dear Lord, by leaving your transcendental service, I may be promoted to the planet called Dhruvaloka, the pole star, or I may gain lordship over all the planetary systems of the universe. But I do not aspire to this, nor do I wish the mystic perfections of the yoga practice, nor do I aspire for nor do I aspire to spiritual emancipation. All I wish for, my Lord, is your association and transcendental service eternally. This statement is confirmed by Lord Shiva in Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 17th chapter, verse 28, where Lord Shiva addresses Sati thus, my dear Sati, persons who are devoted to Narayana, Krishna, are not afraid of anything. If they are elevated to the higher planetary systems, or if they get liberation from material contamination, or if they are pushed down to the hellish condition of life, or in fact in any situation, whatever, they are not afraid of anything simply because they have taken shelter of the lotus feet of Narayana. For them, any position in the material world is as good as another. There is a similar statement by Indra, the king of heaven, in Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 18th chapter, verse 24. There Indra addresses Mother Diti in this manner. My dear mother, person who have given up all kinds of desire and are simply engaged in devotional service to the Lord know what is actually their self interest. Such persons are actually serving their self interest and are considered first class experts in the matter of advancing to the perfectional stage of life.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
So here, for the Krishna conscious devotee, serving the Lord is most important. Being in His service is most important, and feeling the transcendental bliss of serving the Lord is more important than the liberation, isn't it? So I shall simply pray on to your lotus lordship, and you may give me millions of tongues and millions of ears so that I can constantly hear and chant the transcendental glories. So they relish this service towards the Lord. Unlike the impersonalist who wanted to become one with the Brahman and all those things, so they are trying to whatever is. There is a different philosophy which is totally away from what we think. Okay. So several examples are being taken in this regard. If you take the first example is Bharat Maharaj, who was so much attracted to the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. He has given up everything which is there, and simply he went to the hermitage and prayed for the Lord. And second example is again the Vritrasura. Okay. He also given up everything, and later he has served the Lord. Okay. Another example again is Sati. My dear Sati, person who are devoted to Krishna or Narayana are not afraid of anything. Okay. Again, they once you have taken the shelter of the Lord, they don't have to worry about any other thing. Okay. Another example is here is Mother Diti. Okay. Who is Diti? Anybody?
is the mother of the demons Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha.
Yeah. So again, my dear mother, persons who have given up all the kind of desires and simply engaged in devotion service of the Lord, definitely they will advance in the spiritual life. Okay. Next is did we read this, Mataji? Seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam? Prahlad? No, I think, no?
No, Mataji, no, Mataji.
Yeah, from here we have to start. Yeah. Any other devotee, you can start reading this.
So devotees don't want bhakti also and mukti also, Mataji.
Hare
No,
Krishna,
no,
Mataji,
no.
I'm reading.
Sometimes we are made up of materialistic things, Sometimes, if you take example of Diti, she wanted to beget a child, but at the same time, the circumstances are in such a way that she got a child who are, of course, they were Vaishnavas, but some amount of contamination had. So we should be very, very careful with our senses and our thought process. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In the seventh canto of the Bhagavatam, sixth chapter, verse 25, Maharaja Prahlada says, "My dear friends, born into atheistic families, if you can please the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, then there is nothing more rare in this world. In other words, if the Supreme Lord Krishna is pleased with you, then any desire you may have within the core of your heart can be fulfilled without any doubt. As such, what is the use of elevating yourself by the results of fruitive activities, which are automatically achieved in all events by the modes of material nature? And what is the use for you of spiritual emancipa- emancipa- emancipation or liberation from material bondage if you are always engaged in chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord and always relishing the nectar of the lotus feet of the Lord? Then there is no necessity for any of this. By this statement of Prahlad Maharaja, it is clearly understood that one who takes pleasure in chanting and hearing the transcendental glories of the Lord has already surpassed all kinds of material benedictions, including the results of pious, pious fruitive activities, sacrifices, and even liberation from material bondage. Similarly, in the same seventh canto, eighth chapter, verse 42, when the demigods are offering prayers to the Lord Narsimha, Indra, the king of heaven, says, "O Supreme One, these demons talk of our share of participation in the performances of ritualistic sacrifices. But simply by your appearance as Lord Narsimhadeva, you have saved us from terrible fears. Actually, our shares in the sacrificial performances are due to you only, because you are the supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices. You are the super soul of every living entity, and therefore you are the actual owner of everything. Long were our hearts always filled with fear of this demon, Hiranyakashipu. But you were so kind toward us that by killing him, you have removed that fear from within our hearts and and given us the chance to place your lordship within our hearts again. For persons who are engaged in the transcendental loving service of your lordship, all the appliances which were taken away from us by the demons are counted as nothing. Devotees do not care even for liberation. What to speak of these material opulences? Actually, we are not enjoyers of the fruits of sacrifices. Our only duty is to always be engaged in your service. For you are the enjoyer of everything. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So material attachment is will not give you pleasure. Only will give some fruitive activities, whatever it is. But chanting and hearing the transcendental glories of the Lord is ultimately the thing which give you more happiness, and it will help you to what do you say, transcendental bliss, progress further in the bhakti. Yes, Prabhu, you can continue. The purport of this statement by Indra. Hare Krishna. Arunaksha Prabhu.
Mataji, sorry.
Yes.
I'm muted and reading, sorry. The purport of this statement by Indra is that beginning from Brahma down to the insignificant ant, no living entities are meant for enjoying the material opulences. They are simply meant for offering everything to the supreme proprietor, the personality of Godhead. By doing so, they automatically enjoy the benefit. The example can be cited again of the different parts of the body, collecting foodstuffs and cooking them so that ultimately a meal may be offered to the stomach. After it has gone to the stomach, all the parts of the body equally enjoy the benefit of the meal. So, similarly, everyone's duty is to satisfy the Supreme Lord, and then automatically everyone will become satisfied.
So doing devotion service like feeding the body. Right. Nice analogy. Hare Krishna. Next.
A similar verse is found in the 8th canto, 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 20. Gajendra says, there, my dear Lord, I have no experience of the transcendental bliss derived from your devotional service. So therefore, I have asked from you some favor. But I know that persons who are pure devotees and have, by serving the lotus feet of great souls, become freed from all material desires, are always merged in the ocean of transcendental bliss and as such, are always satisfied simply by glorifying your auspicious characteristics. For them, there is nothing else to aspire to or pray for.
Hare Krishna. So
Hare
here we
Krishna.
have an example of Gajendra. Next, who wanted to read?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranamataji.
Dandavat.
In the ninth canto, ఆరోగ్యం ఎలా ఉంది మాతాజీ? ఓకేనా మీరు?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes, మాతాజీ. Thank you. In the ninth canto of
Why,
Bhagavatam.
Prabhu, you're asking like that? Okay.
In the ninth, sorry. ఓకే, నా వాయిస్ వినబడుతుందా మాత? ఎందుకో
Yeah.
చూడ.
No. Every day I go to hospital. If I am sick by any means, I will get treated there. No, I am okay.
Okay. Okay, yes, Mataji. Yeah. In the ninth canto of Bhagavatam, 4th chapter, 67th verse, the Lord of Vaikunta replies to Durvasa Munidas, my pure devotees are always satisfied being engaged in devotional service, and therefore they do not aspire even after the 5 liberated stages, which are to be one with me, to achieve second, to achieve residence on my planet, to have third, to have my opulence. Shastri kada Mataji ఇది? To be one.
Opulences.
Fourth, to possess bodily features similar to mine. Fifth, to gain personal association with me. Samipya, na Mataji?
Yes.
Samipya, Salokya,
Sa-
Shastri.
Yes, Prabhu.
So when they are not interested even in these separated positions, you can know how little they care for material appearance or material liberation.
Material liberation. They are not interested in all these things. Devotee wanted only service towards the Lord.
There is a similar prayer. There is a similar prayer by the Nagapatnis, wives of Kaliya serpent, in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 16th chapter, 37th verse. The Nagapatni say there, dear Lord, the dust of your lotus feet is very wonderful. Any person who is fortunate enough to achieve this dust does not care for heavenly planets, lordship over all the planetary systems, the mystic perfection of yoga, or even liberation from material existence. In other words, anyone who adores the dust of your lotus feet does not care a fig for all other perfectional stages. There
Yes.
is yes, Mata. There is a similar statement in the 10th canto, 87th chapter, 21st verse, wherein the Shrutis, the Vedas personified, pray to the Lord as follows. Dear Lord, it is very difficult to understand spiritual knowledge. Your appearance here, just as you are, is to explain to us this most difficult subject of knowledge of the spirit. As such, your devotees who have left their domestic comforts to associate with the liberator Acharya's teachers are now fully merged in the devotional service of your lordship, and thus they do not care for any so-called liberation. In explaining this verse, it should be noted that spiritual knowledge means understanding the self and super soul, or super self. The individual soul and the super soul are qualitatively one, and therefore both of them are known as Brahman or spirit. But knowledge of the Brahman is very difficult to understand. There are so many philosophers engaged in the matter of understanding the soul, but they are unable to make any tangible advancement. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that out of many millions of persons, only one may try to understand what is spiritual knowledge, and out of many such persons who are trying to understand, only one or a few may know what is the supreme personality of Godhead. So this verse says the spiritual knowledge is very difficult to achieve, and so in order to make it more easily attainable, the Supreme Lord is Himself comes in His original form as Sri Krishna and gives His instruction directly to an associate like Arjuna, just so that the people in general may take advantage of this spiritual knowledge. This verse also explains that liberation means having completely given up all material comforts of life. Those who are impersonalists are satisfied by simply being liberated from the material circumstances. But those who are devotees can automatically give up material life and also enjoy the transcendental bliss of hearing and chanting the wonderful activities of Lord Krishna. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 20th chapter and 34th verse, Lord Krishna says to Uddhava, my dear Uddhava, the devotees who have
Hare
come.
Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So we have here examples of various examples. Nagapatnis, Kalya
Yes.
serpent. Can somebody say the story? What exactly it is? Kalya serpent. Story of Kalya, Prabhu. Nobody knows, huh? Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Mata.
Kalya story.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji, the Yamuna river had become poisonous because the serpent Kalia was staying in it. And then one day, when the ball, Krishna and his friends were playing, and the toy was lost in the lake, uh, Krishna entered the lake and he danced on the serpent's hood, and that's how he subdued Kalia. But then the serpent's wife, who were devotees of Krishna, they feared that the husband would die, and they offered prayers to Lord Krishna, which tells about the ignorance of Kalia and how Krishna is merciful. So this is just in short, Mataji.
Okay. Any other addition to this? Any other addition? Any other points? Why do Nagapatnis offer prayers to Lord Krishna here?
Mataji, is it because they feared that Kalia would die?
Yes. Because Lord was dancing on the hood of Kalya. Ultimately, what Kalia will say to Lord? He will say, you have only created me. You have given me poison. Then Lord says, yes, but use it when required, not to disturb the population as such. So he will ask him, he will spare him by asking him to leave that place and go to some other place and not to harm any other. Okay, Hare Krishna. So again, yeah, next paragraph says about the liberated acharyas and who are fully immersed in a devotion service of the Lord. They don't care for any liberation, they only wanted to serve the Lord. So Krishna devotees only wanted to serve the Lord. Okay? No matter what, but ultimately, yeah, serving the Lord will only help them to progress further in the bhakti with the help of our devotees. Yeah, next. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, yes, somebody can start reading from here. Sanju Mataji, Vamshidhar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 20th chapter, verse 34, Lord Krishna says to Uddhava, my dear Uddhava, the devotees who have completely taken shelter of my service are so steadfast in devotional service that they have no other desire. Even if they are offered to offer the four kinds of spiritual opulence, they will refuse to accept them. So what to speak of their desiring anything within the material world? Similarly, Lord Krishna says in another passage of Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 14th chapter, verse 14, my dear Uddhava, a person whose consciousness is completely absorbed in my thought and activities does not aspire even to occupy the post of Brahma or the post of Indra or the post of lordships over the planets or the eight kinds of mystic perception or the even liberation itself. In the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th chapter, verse 6, Lord Seva says to Devi, my dear Devi, this great Brahmana, sage, Markandeya has attained unflinching faith and devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such he does not aspire after any benedictions, including liberation from the material world.
Yeah.
Similarly, there is a statement in Padma Purana describing the ritualistic function during the month of Kartika, October-November. During this month in Vrindavana, it is the regulative principle to pray daily to Lord Krishna in his Damodara form. The Damodar form refers to Krishna in his childhood when he was tied up with rope by his mother Yasoda. Dama means ropes and Uddara means the abdomen. So, Mother Yasoda being disturbed by the naughty Krishna bound him around the abdomen
Abdomen.
with a rope. Thus, Krishna is named Damodara. During Kartika, Damodara is prayed to as follows: my dear Lord, you are the Lord of all, the giver of all benedictions. There are many demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva who sometimes offer benedictions to their respective devotees. For example, Ravana was blessed with the many benedictions by Lord Shiva, and Hiranyakashipu was blessed by Lord Brahma, but even Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma depend upon the benedictions of Lord Krishna, and therefore Krishna is addressed as the Lord of all benefactors. As such, Lord Krishna can offer his devotees anything they want, but still the devotees' prayers continues. I do not ask you for liberation or any material facility of to the point of liberation. What I want as your favor is that I may always think of your form in which I see you now as Damodara. You are so beautiful and attractive that my mind does not want anything besides this wonderful form. In the same prayers, There is another passage in which it is said, "My dear Lord Damodar, once when you are when
You
you
were playing as a
were
naughty boy.
playing as a naughty boy in the house of Nanda Maharaj. You broke the box containing yogurt, and because of that, Mother Yasoda considered you as an offender and tied you with rope to the household grinding mortar. At that time, you delivered the two sons of Kuvera, Nal Kuvera and Manigriva, who were staying there as two Arjuna trees in the yard of Nanda Maharaj. My only request is that your merciful pastimes, you may similarly deliver me.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
So any service towards the Lord, even the punishment, one will get liberated. Okay, here we have an example of Nalakubara and Manigruva, who are sons of Kubera. Okay, if you take example of Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Ravana, Asura, Dantavakra, Shishupala, everybody, like the same demons in different yugas, all of them who have come in contact with the Lord also got benefited out of which. So every living entity, even the demigods like Brahma and Lord Shiva, again they are dependent on the Krishna. So once it is known, it is advisable to follow the regulative principles and worship the Lord. So again, here the story of the same Manigriva and Nalakuvara, they were, yes, I think you can read rather than me saying the story. At the same time, they have highlighted the importance of the Damodara Masa. Yeah. Yes. Who is reading next? Vamshidhar Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, please read it.
There is a passage in the Ayakshira, Ayakshirsa Pancharatra that state, my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality
Prabhu,
of
Prabhu, the
Godhead.
story behind this verse is that you have to start from here. The story behind this verse is that two sons of Kubera.
Ah. The story behind this verse is that the two sons of Kuvera, the treasure of the demigod, were puffed up on account of the opulence of their father, and so once a heavenly planet, they were enjoying themselves in the lake with some naked damsel of heaven. At the time, the great Saint Narada Muni was passing on the road and was sorry to see the behavior of the son of Kuvera, seeing Narada passing by the damsel of heaven cover, covered their bodies with the clothes, but the two sons, being drunkard, did not have this
Decency.
this
Decency.
decency. Decency. Narada become angry with their behavior and cursed them. Thus, you have no sense. So it is better if you become tree instead of the son of Kuvera. Upon hearing this, the boys come to their senses and begged Narada to be pardoned for their offense. Narada then said, "Yes, you shall become tree, Arjuna tree, and you will stand in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaja. But Narada himself will appear in time as the forest son of Nanda, foster son of Nanda, and he will deliver you." In other words, the curse of Narada was a benediction to the son of Kuvera, because indirectly it was uh, foretold that they could be able to receive the favor of Lord Krishna. After that, Kuvera's two sons stood as two big Arjuna trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaja until Damodara, in order to fulfill the desire of Nanda, dragged the
Desire of
grinding mortar.
Narada.
Narada. Desire of Narada. Dragged the grinding mortar to which he was tied and struck the two trees violently, uh, causing them to fall down. From out of these fallen trees come Nalakuvera and Manigriva, who had by then become great devotees of the Lord. There is a passage in the again, okay, Haya Shirsa, Haya Shirsa Pancharatra, that states, "My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I do not want to any resultant uh, benediction from any religious life, nor I do want any economic development, nor I do, nor I do, nor do I want to enjoy sense gratification, nor liberation. I simply pray to be eternal servant at your lotus feet. Kindly oblige me and give me this benediction." This is in this same Haya Shri Pancharatra after uh, Nrsimha Deva wanted to give benediction to Prahlada Maharaja. Prahlada did not accept any material benediction and simply asked the favor of the Lord to remain his eternal devotee. In this connection, Prahlada Maharaja set the example of Himan, Hanuman, the eternal servitor of Ramachandra, who also set an example by never asking any material favor from the Lord. He always remained engaged in the Lord's service. That is the ideal character of Hanuman, for which he still worshipped by all devotees. Prahlad Maharaja also offered his respectful obeisances unto Hanuman. There is a well-known verse spoken by Hanuman in which he says, "My dear Lord, if you like, you can give me salvation from this material existence, or the privilege of merging into in your existence. But I do not wish any of these things. I do not want anything that diminishes my relationship with you as servant to master, even after liberation."
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Are you okay? You seems a bit
Ah,
low.
I am actually I'm not feeling well.
Yeah, looks like some cold.
Yeah, actually here heavy rain going on, power off.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Take care, Prabhu.
The
Yeah.
season when
So
changes,
here again,
I depend on my body and seasons, so atmosphere. Thank you, Mataji.
yeah, Hare Krishna, please take care. Yeah, the story behind again is a Nalakuvera and Manigriva, who are the sons of Kuvera, who have been liberated by the Lord. So every activity of the Lord, if you see, somewhere or the other, it will help us to get liberated. It's a punishment, it's a sweet punishment. Okay, it is a benediction, it's a very good benediction, right? So anything, so what lessons we have to learn from this? Yes, devotees.
always we need to understand that God's plan will be always right, irrespective of it is happening wrong or right in this current situation.
Yes. It is wrong. It is very good that he has something big for us, isn't it? If it is good, then it is also okay. Maybe somewhere we did some good karma out of which we are getting that result. Okay. Here we have example of Prahlad Maharaj, Hanuman, many people, they are not important. Their ultimate thing is to serve the Lord, not to get liberated. So, because again, don't say a medical example. While, uh, when you're treating a patient, ultimate result is that they get healthy and they get discharged from the hospital. But the process of healing, once you see they are very sick to moderate sick, then a mild sickness, then they have recovery. That phase, as a treating doctor, you enjoy that phase. So similarly, for the teacher also, for a student who is totally not studying, they are picking up on their education slowly, or no matter any service, where we are putting on our experience and expertise in that and making that grow progressively will give more happiness than seeing the end result. So any making or any service, I feel, yeah, anybody has any examples to cite on this? Yes, you are free to say. Hare Krishna. Any of your personal experiences you can share? Where you find that doing service will give you immense pleasure. No examples? Hare Krishna. Is my question understandable?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
Can you repeat the question, Mataji?
No, I'll repeat. The process of devotional service will give you more happiness than the ultimate liberation. That's what we have been discussing in this particular chapter from the very beginning, right? So, liberation means something you are, that is an ultimate thing. But that process of doing service to the Lord at an every individual steps gives you more immense pleasure. So people are not, especially the devotees, are not so much concentrated on the liberation part. So in our day-to-day life also, we do so many activities, whatever may be the end result, but the process of doing service in any sector, let it be a mother feeding a child every day also. The process of doing service to somebody or your personal or professional this thing, that gives an immense pleasure than the outcome of that, isn't it? So I wanted you to share some personal examples if you have any. Still, you did not get my question.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, I just a personal experience of mine. Mataji, I was never fond of cooking. I'm 45 years old. I've been cooking just like, earlier, whenever it was like we have to eat healthy food. So I was cooking. That was the only intention. But after I came to Krishna consciousness and I understood that we offer food without onion garlic, until that time I didn't know how to cook without onion garlic. So then, I went into the rabbit hole, like, going to YouTube channels, Hare Krishna channels, and I started cooking. And then what I realized after a period of time is that now I like to cook. And also there was a change in my family because, they used to get all these different things because there was this desire, okay, so this recipe is there, let me try and cook for Krishna, let me try and cook. And then the family members also used to, they also got to eat, no, Mataji. So I think my daughter is the happiest now. Like, so earlier I used to feel, oh wow, but then slowly, slowly I realized that no, it is not my cooking. It is because of Krishna consciousness. I went to these videos and I've started cooking, and because it is offered to Krishna, it is tasty. So this service that Krishna is allowing me to cook for him, Mataji, this is my experience.
Yes, yes, very nice, Mataji. Yes, Prabhu, you should also share your examples.
Mataji, sometimes we may ask someone to chant Hare Krishna mantra. I also sometimes give personally some beats who are more interested. That time, initially they will not chant. Like 3 4 years they will not chant, or like 2 years or 2 months they will not chant. But later something will happen in their life, some sad moment or something will happen, or some happy moment, they'll start chanting. From that time they will keep chanting. I know some people, they did not chant in the beginning. My own relative, I gave her beats like 2 years or 3 years before, but she started chanting after 2 years, and now chanting 8 rounds. And similarly, I find some people chanting in beginning and leaving, and then taking up seriously. That point of taking it seriously comes with their maturity and security when the time comes. So, for my understanding, what I thought is, whoever we meet, like if we are interested, we need to chant, ask them to chant at least this Hare Krishna mantra once in one time. But if they are chanting or not chanting, it depends upon the Lord. So our duty is to do, but ultimately God will give them mercy, Sukriti, and they will one day start chanting.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. That's very nice. Yeah. But no matter what, whether if they chant or not, whether if they're chanting one time or whatever it is, irregular also. But somewhere we love that service of motivating them every time, to chant and taking what do you say, the feedback about their progress of chanting and the bhakti, isn't it? The process also, it's very what do you say? It's very good service to follow up, I think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Any other?
Hare Krishna Mataji, just Prasannachit Prabhuji said something, that reminded me of my initial days. May I share something, Mataji?
Yes, yes.
Mataji, initially when the devotees that I used to listen, so a devotee from Pune, Mataji, she's been a big influence in my journey. So she used to tell me, okay, you chant, and the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That time I used to feel, oh, it is so long. So then she said, okay, Mataji, you chant only one round. So I chanted 1 month. Then she said, wow, wow, now Mataji, can you try 2 rounds? And like that, Mataji, she took me to 4 rounds in 1 month, and like how she said, like Vaman Dev came to Bali Maharaj and he asked little. So like that Mataji, she told me, ek karo, do karo. And then when I went to 16 was like magic, Mataji.
It happens, Mataji. Actually, one of my last year I got transferred, last before year. So I was in Madhya Pradesh, Indore. Okay. There, one of our office staff, who used to read Bhagavatam, but he was reading the hard book. Okay. Then I asked him which canto you are reading. He said, I'm in the first canto, but I'm not finding time to read it so often. Okay. So he said, I said, okay, it's very easy. You open the vedabase.io. Whenever you are free, you can read that book and all. Okay. So after that, I think within few months, I got transferred back to Hyderabad. Okay. When I check on him, now he's in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. I was so amazed. So when I see his status, he keeps all the Bhagavad Gita quotes and all. He says, I'll be completing this within 1 month or so. I think few days back, and he got transferred from there to Bihar. Okay, so why Krishna place you in some place when the devotee come in contact? And I was very happy to see his progress, starting from, he was in second canto when I was in Indore, but here 10th canto means the pace with which he is reading and chanting 16 rounds is, I never expected him to chant. Okay, so that's the power of association, I think. So I don't know. That's a Krishna's mercy upon his devotees. If we take one step forward, he will come 1,000 steps forward to take us into the service. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prasanna Chitta Prabhu, can start reading from this in a similar passage in Narada Pancharatra.
Yes, Mataji. In a similar passage in the Narada Pancharatra, it is stated, "My dear Lord, I do not wish any perfectional stage by performing the ritualistic religious ceremonies, or by economic development, or by sense gratification, or by liberation. I simply pray that you grant me the favor of keeping me under your lotus feet. I do not wish any kind of liberation such as Salokya to reside on your planet, or Sarupya to have the same bodily features as you. I simply pray for your favor that I may be always engaged in your loving service." Similarly, in the 6th canto, 14th chapter, verse 5 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Maharaja Parikshit inquires from Sukadev Goswami, "My dear Brahmana, I understand that the demon Vritrasura was a greatly sinful person and that this mentality was completely absorbed in the modes of passion and ignorance. How did he develop to such a perfectional stage of devotional service to Narayana? I have heard that even great persons who have undergone severe austerities and who have liberated with full knowledge must strive to become devotees of the Lord. It is understood that such persons are very rare and and almost never to be seen. And I am astonished that Vritsasura became such a devotee. In the above
Vritrasura was a
verse,
demon, no?
uh,
But he was a great devotee actually. He's been cursed by, you know the story of Vritrasura? Anybody? Hare Krishna, anybody knows?
I know little only Mataji. Vritrasura will fight with Indra Dev, no Mataji.
Yes. That is, we read, no, Prabhu. We have read in that divine and demonic characters, 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we have read the Vritrasura story. Actually, he's a very pious king, you know. I exactly don't know the name.
Chitraketu.
Yes, tell Prabhu.
అయ్యో అంటే మీరు చెప్పండి మాట్లాడి.
No, yeah, that's what he was such. Actually, he has so many queens, but he was a childless for a certain period of a time.
హర్షశోక చైల్డ్ నేమ్.
So then, the benediction that he will get a child, he'll be offered a fruit, you know, which he gives to one of his favorite queen. Okay. So after that, she will beget a son, and he has forgotten all other queens and started spending time with the queen who has begetted a child. Okay, and he was so much attached to the child and all. So all the time he was engaged in knowing about his welfare, and his world is just around the child only. So the rest of the queens, you know, were very jealous of this queen and the child and the king not being giving attention to them. And one day, you know, what they do is when the child is playing, they will call him and they will poison him. Okay. And he will leave his material body. So immediately, and you know, this Chitraketu Maharaj, what do you say, he's inconsolable because he was so much attached to his child. But then Narada comes and for his rescue, and he says, you know, his birth and death are part of a life. He tried to say the same philosophy to him and try to pacify him by saying that words. But Chitraketu Maharaj, sorrow is inconsolable. He was not in a position to do it, but somehow he will try to pacify him. At one moment, his child will get up and says, Ki, I'm happily living this world, nothing to worry about me, something like that he will say. Like he was only worried that he didn't see him, he didn't speak to him for the last time and all. So then Narada will be taking the Chitraketu Maharaj along with him, you know. En route, they will see, what do you say, Lord Shiva and Parvati in their personal space, having some a personal time, okay? seeing Goddess Parvati, he will just give a smile. All these things are, temporary things. Everything will come for certain amount of a time. Again, you will leave this and all those things. So that moment when he give a glance towards Goddess Parvati, she will feel very offended and she will curse him to become a demon. So he'll become a Vritrasura. He's a very powerful demon. So this short story of Vritrasura to again kill Vritrasura, what we have read. Okay.
Then
They
in that
will
last sentence, why is cursing? Actually,
Yeah, he just looked towards Goddess Parvati and he was just gave a smile towards the situation. Like they are demigods, of course, they're in the personal space, like all these things are temporary and people are still like they are attached to their.
Actually, Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hmm.
maybe some Vairagya lecture, something is giving like Shiva and like person like on the tie she's sitting on there, something like that, but he is giving lecture on Bhagavatam some topic. So and he laughs at and by seeing them, he's laughing. So I thought like that,
Yes,
Mataji.
yeah, the satsang was on Vairagya, and Vritrasura
Yes.
praises actually Lord Shiva. He says that only
Ah,
Lord Shiva you can speak about Vairagya, with having your wife on your lap. And he says it in jest, but mother gets offended like that.
Yeah, that's what she feel offended and she will curse him. There was everybody will be there, but seeing them like materialistic attachment. His main intention is that materialistic attachment because he is in a deep sorrow and somehow the grief is inconsolable. So seeing them, he sees that, and Goddess Parvati will feel offended and she will curse him. So he will become a demon. So again, Angira Rishi has to give up his life to create a weapon so that Indra can kill this Vritrasura. Okay, we'll read one day again. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Next, Prabhu.
Mataji. In the above verse, the most important thing to be noted is that there may be many liberated persons who have merged into the existence of the impersonal Brahman. But a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, is very, very rare. Even out of millions of liberated persons, only one is fortunate enough to become a devotee. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter, verse 20, Queen Kunti is praying to Lord Krishna at the time of his departure. My dear Krishna, you are so great that you are inconceivable even to great stalwart scholars and Paramahamsas, fully liberated souls. So, if such great sages who are transcendental to all the reactions of material existence are unable to know you, then, as far as we are concerned, belonging to the less intelligent human class, how it is possible for us to know your glories? How can we understand you? In this verse, the particular thing is to be noted that the personality of Godhead, sorry, in this verse, the particular thing to be noted is that the personality of Godhead is not understood by great liberated persons, but only by devotees such as Queen Kunti in her humbleness. Although she was a woman and was considered less intelligent than a man, still she realized the glories of Krishna. That is the purport in this verse. Could you
Hare
continue?
Krishna. Yes.
Another passage that is very important in the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, 7th chapter, verse 10 is that and is called the Atma Rama verse. In this Atma Rama verse, it is stated that even those who are completely liberated from material contaminations are attracted by the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna. The purport of this verse is that a liberated soul has absolutely no desire at all for material enjoyment. He is only freed from all kinds of material desires, yet still he is irresistibly attracted by the desire to hear and understand the pastimes of the Lord. We may therefore conclude that the glories and pastimes of the Lord are not material. Otherwise, how could the liberated persons know as Atma Ramas be attracted by such pastimes? That is the important point in this verse. From the above statement, it is found that a devotee is not after any of the stages of liberation. There are 5 stages of liberation already explained as being: to first is to become one with the Lord, second to live with the to live on the
Same
same
planet.
planet as the Lord as the Lord, third to obtain the same bodily features of the Lord, fourth to have the same opulences of the Lord, and 5 to have constant association with the Lord. Out of these 5 liberated stages, the one which is known as Sayujya, or to merge into the existence of the Lord, is the last to be accepted by a devotee. The other 4 liberations, although not desired by devotees, are still not against the devotional ideas. Some of the liberated persons who have achieved these 4 stages of liberation may also develop affection for Krishna and be promoted to the Goloka Vrindavana planet in the spiritual sky. In other words, those who are already promoted to the Vaikuntha planets and who possesses to the 4 kinds of liberation may also sometimes develop affection for Krishna and become promoted to Krishna Loka. So those who are in the 4 liberated stages may still be going through different stages of existence. In the beginning, they may want the opulence of Krishna, but at the mature stage, the dormant love for Krishna exhibited in Vrindavana becomes prominent in their arts. As such, the devotee never accepts the liberations of Sayujya to become one with the Supreme. Through sometimes they may accept as favorable the other 4 liberated stage. Out of many kinds of devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the one who is attracted to the original form of the Lord Krishna in Vrindavana is considered to be the topmost, first class devotee. Such a devotee is never attracted by the opulences of Vaikuntha or even of Dwaraka, the royal city where Krishna ruled. The conclusion of Sri Rupa Goswami is that the devotees who are attracted by the pastimes of the Lord in Goloka or Vrindavana are the topmost devotees. A devotee who is attached to a particular form of the Lord does not wish to redirect his devotion to other forms. For example, Anuman, the devotee of Lord Ramachandra, knew that there is no difference between Lord Ramachandra and Lord Narayana, and yet he still wanted to render service only unto Lord Ramachandra. That is due to the specific attraction of a particular devotee. There are many forms of the Lord, but Krishna is still the original form. Although all of the devotees of the different forms of the Lord are in the same category, still it is said that those who are devotees of Lord Krishna are the topmost in the list of all devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, because they are attracted only by the devotion service of the Lord and enjoying the pastimes of the Lord in each and every endeavors and all devotee association and progressively moving forward in a bhakti. Hare Krishna. So Krishna devotee wants, what do they want?
Love of Godhead.
Service
They
to
want
Krishna,
service to Krishna.
association.
Yeah, not the liberation, mukti, vairagya, all those things. Vairagya means, sorry, it's a process. Liberation and all those we don't want. Only serving the Lord is the 4 most important things what we require. Hare Krishna. Very interesting, no? Nectar of devotion is nectar only. Hare Krishna. Any questions or anything to discuss? Hare Krishna? No? Are you all getting ready for weekend exam?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, fine. So we'll conclude for today. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.